choreo. Yes, and then the meeting's being recorded so that we can upload it later for people to like follow along and like learn through this. So if you don't want your camera on, feel free to turn it off. But we do encourage it, so we can give you feedback if you want. But anyway, we're Georgia Tech Bhangra, so you probably already know that. But Bhangra is a folk dance from Punjab, Pakistan, and India, the region there. So it's a folk dance that's been done for many, many years and kind of amalgamated eventually into a competitive dance, which is competitive circuits like in America, Canada, Australia, UK, and India. So our circuit is like a little bit different from some other circuits like DDN, Ross, or traditional like Bharatanatyam circuits and like stuff like that. Because we don't have an overarching competition or like organization that sponsors all the competitions. So each competition has its own like unique personality, and it's not just collegiate teams. It's independent teams and also like academies, people who have been learning since they were kids, or just groups of people who make teams after college or during college, whatever. So it's a little bit different from those types of circuits, but similar to the other folk dances at Tech, we don't put on every single person on our team on the stage. We only put on like 12, 16, even some sort of even number of people that get to perform every time on stage. And that changes from comp to comp. So it's not just because you make the team doesn't mean you're going to be able to perform at a competition. Obviously, we want everybody to have that opportunity, but you do have to try out basically each competition that we have 2 weeks or so before. We have what we call lineup auditions, and those people get to perform on stage. So you might not be able to do it as soon as you join the team, but that is an opportunity that you have. As you get better and better, you eventually get to make it on and perform at those competitions. But again, not guaranteed. But we do try to go to around 4 comps a year. I usually one in the fall we try to go to, and around 3 or so in the spring. So there's a lot of opportunities for you to grow and ideally get to perform at one of those comps. Usually we practice around 3 times a week for about 3-ish hours each time. Usually Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. We haven't changed that schedule in a while. It's not likely to change. It's usually like 8 to 11 p.m. So that would be the normal time commitment. And then that's usually on Georgia Tech's campus. And then before any competition, we do practice Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So that's 5 days a week, usually 3 hours, 8 to 11. And that'll be around like the 2 weeks before any competition. And that's exclusive, or not exclusive, but that's lineup has to go there. If they make lineup, they have to go because they're going to be the people competing at the competition. And it's usually optional for the people who didn't make lineup. So that's kind of the time commitment overall. And then even if if you're not dancing at a competition, we usually encourage you to go and like experience what it's like and help us get ready and help with the Vardi and like transporting all of our stuff. So it's still like an experience that all the team goes through together, and you don't like just not go or not participate, even if you're not dancing. As a team, we do also collect dues that ranges from like $120 to $150 for the whole year. And there can be some out-of-pocket expenses as well, because we have to pay for those registration fees for competitions and also pay for some other things like hotels and stuff. So there usually is a cost involved with that, and that'll be more concrete like once our finance team figures that out. But we do collect dues. And then all this information is on our team document, which is like linked on the tryout information document that's in our Linktree. So all the information is like publicly available for you guys to like look through and look over in detail. And besides like all the competitions and all that like, dance stuff that we do, we also have a lot of fun activities. We perform at gigs. That also helps us make a lot of money to go towards our team and have less out-of-pocket expenses. So anytime somebody has a birthday party or Vaisakhi or something like that, and they want us to help celebrate and like bring a performance, they'll come pay for us to be there. And then that's a really good experience for everybody to get to put on our uniform and wear the clothes and perform in front of other people. And we also do things like we have a cabin trip usually in the fall semester where you get to hang out with the whole team for a weekend and like have a super fun time. And then we also do like holiday party, end of the year party, and we try to hang out with each other as well and like do fun stuff together. So we're not only about dancing and competing. But yeah, Shreya or any of the other team members, Tanya, Neha, and Shreya are all part of the team. Shreya is one of the other captains, so we're all here to answer questions too and add on some stuff if you guys want to say anything. Good? Or you want to add anything? Okay. Oh, yeah. But yeah, then we'll go straight into starting off with, basically want to start off with some like basic footwork. So ideally stretch out a little bit. You don't want to be cold as you're attempting this for maybe the first time, but we'll go over some basic, oh my God, it follows me as I go down. But we're going to start off with some basic footwork that best to see my whole body. These basic footwork, you have to submit as a separate video, and then also, can you not see my whole body? That's so annoying. Okay, Shreya, do you want to start off then, and I'll try to figure out.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. So the first footwork is front lifts or single them all. So okay, we always like start our resting position is called house. So you kind of like make like a house shape with your legs. So you're kind of like you can like stand like about a little bit more than like shoulder width apart, and then like you bend your knees, and then that's like house. So that's your like resting or like starting position for all the steps. And then for front lifts or like single them all, you start in house, and you basically like lift your leg on like every count. So when you lift your leg, it's gonna look like this. So you're gonna have a 90-degree angle here, like at your hip, at your knee, and at your foot. So like without like any of the bouncing, it's just gonna look like 1, 2, 3, 4. And then obviously like there's like a bounce added between all of those. So with like the and counts, it's gonna look like 1 and. So like you lift on the 1 count, and then you place your foot back down on the and count, and then lift again on the second beat, the second number beat, and then put your leg down on the and beat. So it's just like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And the way to like think about it is that like pretend like there's like a string on your knee, and you're like lifting it like up and down, and you also like kind of want to like pendulum your legs a little bit. So like you're like lifting it up and then like putting it back, like not completely like in the center, but like shoulder width apart. So like lift and then like place it back, lift, and then place it back. So yeah, that's front lifts. And if you have any questions, let me know. Okay, and then I'll do back lifts next. So for this one, again, you start in house, but this time instead of lifting on the number count, you're gonna kick back and like kick your butt on the number count. So for this one, it's very like flowy, and like you like kind of like sway with it. So yeah, it'll look like for 4 counts of it, it's gonna look like this. So it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4. So on the first count, also we always like start with like our left leg, like doing the lifting or whatever. So you start with your left leg, and then you kick it back, and then you kick your butt. And then on the and count, you like place it back down. And then on the second count, you kick your other leg up to your butt, and then on the next and count, you place it back down. So yeah, I think that's about it for back lifts. And then next is taps. So this one is a little bit more complicated. So for this one, you start in house again, but you're gonna like, it's kind of like a back loop, but like you're like bouncing on like every beat. So it's like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And right now I'm doing my taps like without the curls to make it like easier to learn. So on the first count, you kick your like leg back and hop onto your right leg, and then you're gonna like bounce on that first count. And then on the second, like the and count, you're gonna bounce back onto both feet. And then on the second count, you kick your right leg back, and then kick your butt, and then like also bounce with that on one foot. And then on the second and count, you put your legs back down. So without like curling my taps or anything, it's gonna look like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And on GTV, we also like to curl our taps. So to curl your taps, it's kind of weird. Like you kind of like kick your leg like outwards and then like scoop it in before you like place it on the ground. So like super slowly, it's gonna look like 1 and 2. So like your leg goes like outside of your body and then like curls like towards your butt and then like towards the ground. So like with the curl, it's gonna look like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And for taps, you're basically like alternating between like bouncing on one foot and bouncing on both feet, if that makes sense. So like on the first count, you're only like bouncing on one, and then you bounce on the second, on both feet on the second one, and then like 1 foot, 2 feet, 1 foot, 2 feet. And then the next footwork is Breitke or Breitkan. So for this one, you're basically just like you're sitting like this, like you're basically crouched with your knees facing like the 45s, and then you'll just like bounce like on every beat. So it's just like 1, 2, 3, 4. And then for this one, it's just important that you like keep your back straight and like you just like shoulders. I just realized that I forgot to do the hands for all of these. That's so awkward. Okay, so for the front lifts, your hands are just gonna be in ungulis, which is basically like your pointer finger facing up. And we also put our hands in peripherals for everything. So to do that, you like we do this thing where we like put our hands on our like head, and then we like put them out and then roll our shoulders back. So your hands are gonna be like in your like the peripherals of your vision, like kind of like in your like 45s, and then like up, and then your like elbows are gonna be like straight. You don't have to like lock them completely or anything, like keep them like fluid, but yeah. And then those are the hands for the front lifts. When you're doing your like basic footwork. Wait, do we have hands for the basic footwork? I forgot. Oh no, okay, wait. I lied. Wow.
You can do them for the Beitka though. I
Oh,
think
for
everything else you can do hands on hips.
okay, yeah. Never mind then. Yeah.
You're
that makes-
good.
Okay, and then for the Birke, like the hands, you're just gonna like like draw them back into like fists, and then like meet them in the center, kind of like this. Like we call them Bhangra Ls. Like we make an L with our hands, and you kind of just like meet them here. So when you're actually doing it, you draw back when you like bounce up, and then like meet them in like the center, like in front of you when you like land. So it's like and 1 and 2 and 3. And they'll like just be like it'll be going from like right next to you to like right in front of you, and it's like parallel to your or like perpendicular to your body. So I think that's the basic footwork. Is there anything you want to add?
I think you're good. I've just joined it on my phone, so no, I think that'll be fine.
I have a question.
Yes.
So when you're doing the Bitke, like, so you're saying like to do it perpendicular, so you wouldn't prefer like people going past perpendicular when they're doing it?
Like
Or
behind your
yeah,
torso.
behind.
Ideally, you can go like a little bit behind and then go forward. If
Okay.
you're super flexible, like a lot of people can go further than that, but at some point, if you go too far, like you can't see your arms anymore from the front.
Okay, okay.
So to look as big as possible, you can go like a little bit behind and then come to the middle.
Okay.
But definitely, yeah, feel free to go more than perpendicular to like build up to. Any other questions about basic footwork? Then we can go into the choreo if there's no other questions. So the choreo starts off with, can you see my whole body or is it still like Not good.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, slide. So it starts off with what are called like another basic footwork, which is called single Jummer or Jummer counts. And so for that, again, you'll start with your left foot, and it's gonna start off like kind of similar to a lift where you bring it up to kind of that 90-90 position, and then you're just gonna tap it on the ground. Ideally, like in the 45-degree area, and then you'll land on your toe. So some teams go on their heels, but we land on our toes. So you're gonna like bring your knee up and then set your toe down. And as that's happening, you kind of like your torso will come a little bit down as you're bringing it up, and then you'll come up a little bit as you set your foot down. So on the and it comes up, on the count it comes down, and then you just switch your foot, bring your right knee up, and on the count bring it down. So together it'll go and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So those are the legs, and then there's like a little bit of a bounce as you're like switching your foot and bringing it up, but it's not like super bouncy. Like both your feet are, or one of your feet is always on the ground. And so the arms that we do with that, we call them morni. So it's like an OK sign, and morni means peacock, so it looks somewhat of a peacock shape. And so you're going to do opposite leg and opposite arm. So you're going to start with your left leg, and your hands will be on your hips, and then your right arm is going to swing around and come like forward. So we'll go like a little bit behind our head and come back to that like natural peripheral area. So 1, switch arms, 2 and 3 and 4. So as you can see, it's kind of like a circular motion where you'll just switch each time and come like back to front. And you'll do that for 4 counts. So those are the first 4 counts of the choreo. The next 4 counts, the legs are the same. They're still single Jummer.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I interrupted you. LOL. But when you're doing that like peacock move, the other hand, is it just kind of like sitting on a quote unquote belt?
Yeah, it's kind of like wherever your hips, it'll be sitting there.
Okay.
And then as soon as like the other one meets the hip, the other one will like come out.
Okay, thank you.
So the next 2 counts are the same legs that you've been doing, same single Jummer legs, but your arms are going to be a little bit different. So the way that we just ended was with our right foot up here, and now your left hand's already in peripheral. You're also going to bring your right hand in your peripheral and change them from the morni into the Bhangra Els. So you just ended here, and you're going to go straight into the left Jummer, but then keep both of these into Bhangra Els in the peripheral, and do that for 2 counts. So the arms aren't going to change at all. You're just going to go 2 more Jummer counts with your arms up here. And as you're doing this, try not to be like too stiff with the elbows, like Shreya said, like they're a little bit relaxed, and then try, if you can, to like bounce your shoulders a little bit with the beat. So again, you do 2 counts of those, and then we're going to do a move that's called Buddha Jummer. So these next 4 counts, like this combination is called Buddha Jummer, and it technically means like old man Jummer, because I guess you look like an old man. But after you end here, basically what your arms are going to do is you're going to bring both of them to your shoulders, and you're going to scoop them and then go out again. So bring both of them to your shoulders, and we're going to start all the way up, scoop down to your shoulders, and then forward. And that's going to happen like in the span of like 2 beats. So it'll go and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So it's technically like 1.5 beats. So again, that's the arms scoop. And then with the legs, basically you just ended with your right foot. You're going to jump, take a little bit of a hop, and then just keep your feet bouncing a little bit. And those are called like jet bow or jet beat. So you'll hop and like spread your legs out to go a little bit wider. You'll come down and forward and bounce on each like and beat as your arms are scooping. So altogether, those 4 counts look like this. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So on the and, you'll come to your shoulders. 3 and 4. So and here, 3 up, scoop on the next and, come back to your shoulders. 4, like shoot out towards the front and do Bhangra Els towards the front. And then we'll do a little bit of a shimmy on the and of 4 leading into the next move. So those first 8 counts, again, they're all like the first 4 are these single Jummer legs, and then the Buddha Jummer for the next 4 counts. And we'll just try that on counts. So 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and. So the shimmy is on the and of 4. Both of your hands are gonna be here, and you're kind of like a little bit lower than house, and you're just gonna shimmy your arms like that and bring like one hand forward, the other one back, and kind of shake into it, and that'll lead into the next move. But those are the first 8 counts. Any questions on those? Otherwise, we can try it with music. Okay, I'm gonna try to play the music so you can hear what it sounds like. Let's see. Five, 6, 7, 8.
You can't really hear it,
Oh no.
or I can't hear it at least.
Can you hear this if I put it up here?
Why don't you share the sound
Oh wait,
like through the?
yeah,
I don't think I can do it on my phone, but Shreya's got it.
I got you.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if it was totally aligned what I was doing, but Shreya was doing it, and she's probably aligned with her music. So look at her for that. But if there's no other questions, we can move on to the next move. Okay, so the next move is called Fasla, and Fasla is basically means wheat fields, which are common in Punjab because that's a big farming area, and so it's supposed to emulate kind of swaying wheat fields. So that's kind of the vibe we should be going for with our arms. Legs are all backlifts, so we can add those in later, but it's the move that Shreya taught you for backlifts. But for arms, basically, we're going to keep them almost in Bhangra Ls the whole time. And on that very first count, we just finished the shimmy. You're going to bend down like with your knees and scoop from the side. So we're trying to not go like super behind our backs and keep it more to the side. And your arms are kind of going to be like 45 degrees down here. So don't go like scooping up here or like too low. Try to take up that space. So you're gonna dip down on that first count and like scoop as if you're about to like carry something. Somebody's made it like compared it to like picking up a suitcase, if that helps you. You're gonna go to your side, scoop here where your left hand's kind of like near your right armpit and your right hand's like in that 45. You're gonna scoop and then end up first like at your right armpit, come up, and then you want to go like super wide and big and make it look very flowy. Come above your head, and then you're going to meet your right hand at your left armpit and have this one be like horizontally outwards. So you don't want it to go too low or too high. It's going to end up like straight in line with your shoulders, and it's going to go like all the way around and come here, and this one's going to meet at your armpit. So that's on the second count. So you grab on 1 and bring it over here on 2, and try to make this as like big and like flowy as possible. So that's 2. On 3, you're going to bring it around to the other side, 3, and then 4, you bring it back to that side. So again, it's like looks like it's like very like wavy and flowy motion here. So another thing to remember is that our hands are always in like Bhangra Ls, but you want them to kind of have like looser wrists, so they're like flowing around a little bit and look more like wheat fields, like more flowy. So on the grab, then you come up here and like let your wrists also like move with your arms basically and move there. So also you want to make it kind of as like swoopy and like figure 80 as possible, like looping through kind of 3D plane if you can. So that's ideal. Otherwise, if that's like kind of hard to add in that flowy motion, ideally you just want to make it like big, reach the other armpit, reach this armpit, reach this armpit. That's the biggest thing. Make it look big and like smooth. So we're gonna do that 2 times. So that's a 4 count move, 2, 3, 4. Then from here, you'll go straight into another scoop. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you'll do that twice. And that's on back lifts. So altogether, it'll look like this. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So again, back lifts like how Shreya did. And ideally on the 1, you want to kind of dip down and go a little bit lower than house. So that makes it a bit more emphasized. It looks good on that first count. Any questions about Fasla?
I have
Right.
just one quick question.
Mhm.
So when you're doing the fasla, you're like, do you kind of curl your fingers also, like loosely, like fist also, or is it kind of just like the wrist?
Yeah, I would say I curl it a little bit. So on that first one, I go like fully into fists, kind of on the grab. And as I'm going up, I like loosen it. And then on like the up motion, it also kind of goes like curls a little bit into fists, but like opens up on like the big beats, like the 1, 2, 3, 4. That's when it's, or 2, 3, 4. It's like more open. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Is that like a technique thing, or is that like how?
We want to look as similar as possible, but I don't think it'll be like as specific as like how curled your fingers get.
Okay.
But yeah, I wouldn't say worry about that too much. Just as long as you got like the flowy motion going, that's what matters more.
Okay.
Cool. Any other questions? All right. We'll go into the next move then, and then after this, we'll try it out on the music. But this next move is called Punjab, or then happened on Punjab legs. And so these are another kind of basic footwork that you can do different arms with. But the basic legs, again, you start with your left foot. And the way that we're going to do it in this specifically is we're going to come in and then out. So the move, what it usually looks like is like this: 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So basically what's happening is your left foot is going to come in and come like about right outside of your right foot, or almost like right in front of it, but don't like totally cross over. Come about like right in front of it. Tap here, and then go out and then tap back to kind of that house position. And then you're going to switch. Your right leg is going to come right about in front of your left leg, and then come out back to its like house position. And throughout all of that, you're bouncing on the other foot. It's like both of your feet are going to be off the ground at some point, and you're bounce, 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 bounce. On basically every and beat, you're jumping on your like foot that's staying still. I was jumping a little bit. And ideally, you also want to bring your knees really high. It's kind of like this circular motion, and your knees should kind of reach like as high as it normally would with a lift as well. You want it to come like and be really big, be really round, and come all the way around on each foot. So that's kind of the leg motion. So again, start with your left leg all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And those are called Punjab legs. And this particular move that we're doing is called full Punjab. And full means flower. So our arms are making kind of a flowerish shape. So what's going to happen is on the first count, we're kind of going to follow the way our left leg is, but we'll focus on the arms first. You're going to make kind of this like diamond triangle shape with your hands. And you want that to start kind of at your waist level. It'll change depending on the side. But for now, let's start with our left leg waist. So you're going to come down here, and you don't want to like straighten your elbows out too much. I don't want them to be out and look a little big, right? And then you're going to come and curl them inwards, like towards your chest. They're going to come up and then make that shape again to push down. So you're curling them like inwards towards your chest and then out until they make that same diamond shape up here. And then you can push that down. So it'll be and 1 and 2. So it's pushing down on the big beats when your foot's also coming down. So it's very like analogous to where your leg is moving. So it starts like down at your waist. You come up to like chest level and make sure your elbows like are coming and like making a big motion with them too. And you're going to curl it up here and then push back down with that same shape that you had at the bottom. So, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And you don't have to worry like too much about how your hands look here. Just make sure you have like that pushing motion and it follows your legs basically. And then like all together, what I'm saying, what I mean like follow your legs, your leg is coming like in and out. And so your hand should also like follow that motion and be kind of above your knee the whole time. So when you start the move, it's going to be like towards your left waist. Come and 1 and 2 and 3 and well, you actually change it for the next 2 counts, but like it would follow your knee. But that first count again, it's going to come up like and 1 and 2. And then once you come down on the 2, it's going to come up around and go to like your peripheral, the way that like that basic stance for every move. And it's going to be in those unglis. So 1 finger pointing up, and that'll be the right punjab. It's up here. So overall, that 4 count move is going to look like this. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And in this choreo, you just repeat that twice. Any questions on full punjab? If not, we can do that like on counts and then try it with music as well. Okay, Slay. Any questions? All right, we can try it on counts first, and then we can go into trying it with music. And then Shreya can finish us off with the other moves. But kind of in the mix, you'll hear it kind of speeds up a little bit after the Jumar move. So on the Fasla, it's like a teeny bit faster. So just keep that in mind. After that shimmy into that, it'll speed up a tiny bit. But let's try without music, and then we'll try it with music. So starting from the Jumar, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6 and 7 and 8. Shimmy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, those are 2 counts. And then on like the Fasla, the last count of Fasla, you finish over here. And then you just go straight, like bring that down to your left hip to start that full punjab. But Shreya, if you want to start the music, we can do that to music maybe twice and then move on. Slay. One more time for our Marie. But if anybody has questions, okay. Shreya, if you want to take it away for the rest.
Yes. Okay, so for the next counts, you're gonna do 4 single them all, or that's just like the front lifts that I was talking about before. And also between like the full punjab thing, like you would notice that the music kind of like stops. So you do this. And then you can kind of like step back into house to prepare you for like the mall count. So it'll be like 5, 6, 7, 8. And then from there you can do like the front lifts. And that was just the same as I was talking about before. Like you do like the pendulum thing, and you hit your 90s. You can obviously like put your leg like a little higher than 90 degrees if you can, but like, yeah. So, and also for this one, obviously like for your footwork video, you don't need to do hands, but as I was talking about, you do like unguis for this one, I think. We say unguis? Yeah, okay, so the 4 single bemol counts are just gonna look like this. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. And your hands are already gonna be like this after the full punch up, so you don't need to worry about anything. Yeah, that sounds great. And then the next 4 counts, they're gonna be lifts, but the hands are gonna be a little bit different. So your hands are gonna be like this after those like single demols, like in your peripherals and in unguis. And then you're gonna switch them to Bunga Ls. And then you're gonna bring them in front of you like this. And your first lift, they're gonna look like this. They're just like straight out in front of you. Like together like this. And then the next count of lifts is gonna turn into 2 thumbs up, also still straight in front of you. And then on the third lift, this is when you're gonna swing your arms around. So yeah, okay, so your arms are gonna be like this, and then your right hand is gonna shoot down and your left hand is gonna shoot up. And then like, so you're gonna take 2 counts to do this whole thing. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. And your hands are gonna land with your right hand up in your peripherals and your left hand like in your armpit. And this is like to prepare for like the next step. So overall, it's gonna look like this. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I would say like if you have to standardize it, it would be like the first count is this, the second count is this, the third count you're like gonna be like about horizontal, and then the 4th count you're gonna finish up like this with your right hand up. And all of those are like front lifts. So the whole like the mall or like lift sequence is gonna look like this together. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and then the next 8 counts are gonna be it's a move called Morchal, and more means peacock, but yeah, I don't know. It's just like, yeah. So for this one, you're gonna like start again with your left foot, and you're gonna like bounce your legs like together as you're like turning your body. So you're gonna do like bounce, 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 and then like a break, and then bounce, bounce, bounce. So for the first bounce, your right leg is just gonna be like planted, not planted. You're gonna be bouncing with both legs, and then your like left leg is gonna be like this with the ball of your foot on the ground. So it's gonna be like that. So the first bounce is here, and again you're like bouncing with both legs. It's just that the back leg is gonna be like a little like less pronounced. And then so for that one, your left leg is like facing straight forward. And then the next bounce, your left leg is gonna be like at the 45. And then on the last bounce, your left leg is gonna be like at your body, or like to your left. And then on the last count, so it's like 1 and 2, and then on that second and count, you're gonna kind of like draw your like opposite leg, so in this case your right leg, backwards to prepare you for the next set of Morchal. So it'll look like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and basically you just like repeat that. And then for your hands, since we already ended like this prepares us for our like Morchal hands. So your hand, your right hand, for at least for like the first set of Morchal, is gonna be the one that like stays, your peripheral stays planted, and then your left arm is gonna move with your left leg that's like doing the bounces. So you kind of start like here at your left arm is gonna start in your right armpit. And on the first count, you shoot it out in front of you, and then you kind of like follow your legs as you bounce. And then on that second and count, when you like switch legs, that's when you switch your arms as well. So all together, when you like do like 2 sets, like right and then left, it's gonna look like this. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and okay. But yeah, so like obviously like don't be like super sharp and like between each like set of your arms, like just like keep it moving, but like obviously like go with your legs. So just like keep it fluid, keep it moving. And yeah, try to like bounce your shoulders if you can. But yeah, that's the Morchal. So with the okay, yeah, I'll do the mall and then like into the Morchal for like the transition. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. And you're gonna like kind of like end it back. And then I'll do that part with the music.
I have a question.
Oh yeah. What's up?
When you're doing the Morchal, like, is there a specific place you want the foot to end or just like perpendicular?
Well, the foot kind of ends like it's still close to your other foot, but it doesn't end like in a particular place. I guess it ends like to like the side of it, like that. Like they're pretty close together still. They don't need to be like super wide, but yeah, they're not in like house or anything. So like one foot is gonna be like flexed, and then the other foot's gonna be like bended. Like that. Okay, so I'll do that part with the music. And like notice how I like after that full punjab, on that like last count, I like set. So it's like bounce, 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 set, and then that'll prepare you for like the single demal that comes like right after. Okay. So after that, your arms are gonna, there's like a little like 2 count like build up into like the next steps. So after the Morchal, your hands are gonna be like this. So like your left arm is gonna be up in peripherals, and your right arm is gonna be like shot out straight to the side, still in Bhangra Ls. And for the feet, we're gonna do like 2 little hops. I don't think they have like a specific name, but one on the first hop, you're gonna swing your like left leg like a little bit to the right side of your right foot. So it doesn't have to go like out or anything, just like a little hop. And then on the next hop, your right leg is gonna go to the left of your left foot. So it's gonna look like 1, 2. It's really simple, like nothing too complicated. But yeah, just like two little hops. And then for the Morchal, since we ended our hands like this, your left arm is gonna be up in peripherals, and your right arm is gonna be like shot out straight to the side, still in Bhangra Ls. So Yeah, so your right hand is, so first you're gonna swing your arms like counterclockwise. So your right arm is gonna go up, your left arm is gonna go down, and they're gonna meet like this with your right arm above your left arm, like just like flat. So that's, you're gonna be on the first hop, so it's like 1. And then on the second hop, you're gonna turn your hands clockwise with respect to your body. So your right hand is gonna come up and your left arm is gonna shoot downwards, and they're gonna end like 45, like at a 45-degree angle with your body. So your right arm is up, left arm is down, still in one arm. So together, that buildup is just gonna, after the mortal. Yeah, so the buildup is just gonna be like 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. So, yeah. Also, if you have any questions, let me know. Right. So that leads us into our bataka hands, because now that our hands are like this, we're like prepared for bataka. So bataka is it's a tap step, so we're gonna do the taps that I showed you, like with the basic footwork. So it's just gonna be 4. Actually, no, we're doing 8 counts of bataka, so it's gonna be 8 taps. And then for the hands, since we're already here, you kind of start by like drawing them back a little bit to like prep. And then you're gonna bring them forward, just like we did before with like the Beitke hands. You're kind of just gonna like shoot them and like meet them in the middle. So it's gonna be like 1, and then you're gonna switch your hands. So your left hand goes up, right hand goes down this time, draw them back, and then meet them in the middle. So those are the first 2 counts. So it's gonna look like with the taps, it's gonna be like 1 and 2. And then from there, you're gonna do a curl. So this is gonna be to your in your upper right, like the upper right region of your head. So your hands are gonna start like by your head, kind of like one of them is kind of like horizontalish, and then like one of them's like, so your like right hand is kind of like horizontalish, and your left hand still in Bhangra Elf, or it's gonna be like next to your ear, kind of vertical. And you're gonna curl them pretty like local to your head. Like don't go like too far up or anything. Just keep the curl super like regional, I guess, and like curl with like your you can like reach out a little bit, don't go too far, and then curl like inwards. I don't know how to explain this, but yeah. So it's like 1, 2, 3, and then like when you're done curling, it like kind of comes down to like your like face area again, like not too low or too high, just like next to your like chin level, I guess. And then this leads us into like the 4th count, which is like the clap. So for us, we're gonna
Shreya?
oh yeah.
Sorry, I have a quick question. Before you get too ahead, I think my hands are not aligning like with like from after the mortal, like you end with left up, right? Like Bungar L left up, and then the other one is the right is
Right.
at right, and then
Yeah.
you do the swoop starting on the right foot and left crosses, right?
Yeah.
And then so when you're doing that, the hand is like right goes down and then right ends up on top, and
Oh,
then you swoop again, and
this one, like the right goes up and the left goes down.
okay, so
Yeah.
you're like left is up and then right goes up,
And then yeah,
right
left
goes up, and okay, so right ends up on top,
yes.
and then the other one is just an opening of that
Yeah.
with
So just like a
left at the top, left hand at the top.
so like now that your arms are like this after the first count with the right hand on top, left on the bottom, you're just gonna like reverse what you just did. So your left hand is just gonna come straight down and your right hand is just gonna come straight up, and they're gonna end like this. Like,
Oh, okay, I was reversing the opposite way then.
yeah. So
And
you
then
don't
you're
even
gonna
like
do
switch anything here.
okay, and then you're ending, like you're starting the tap with the left foot, obviously.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Sorry, I was like so confused the entire time we were explaining the rest of the part, but yeah, I
No, you're
understand.
good. It's hella directions. But yeah, after the pataka curl, so like it's gonna look like that. Your hands are gonna draw back. Like they don't have to come back like too far or anything. It's not like a it, but just like draw it back to make it look powerful and then like clap in front of your face. So like all together, like the hands alone, it's just gonna be like. So now that like we've started like here after those like two like little pop things, so it's gonna be like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So the on that and count, you're gonna draw back, and then on the 4, you're gonna clap in front of you. So with the feet, the pataka is gonna be like 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, and then after that, we're going to go into Foka, which is another tap move. So still same legs, still taps, but the hands are different for this. So now that we've ended Bataka like this, you're gonna, on the first count, you're gonna like shoot your hands straight up and then clap like here, like right in front of your waist level. So 1, so that's like when you like clap, you clap on the 1 count. And then on 2, you're gonna take your hands all the way back up and then land them like horizontally to your body. And like they can kind of like be in like this at this point. So the first 2 counts of hands, since we ended like this, it's gonna be like and 1 and 2. So just like keep it really big, really round, and like, yeah, really big with your arms. So yeah, and then for the 3rd and 4th counts, you're gonna clap from side to side. So now that your hands are like here, like horizontal and like parallel to the ground and like out to your sides, you're gonna take your left hand and clap it onto the right one. And it's okay if like you need to bring your right arm in a little bit to like meet the left hand, like that's completely fine. So that's like the 3rd count, so 3. And then before the 4th count, like on the 3 and, you're gonna keep moving that left hand back out to be like horizontal again. So it's like 3 and, so keep it moving in a circle. And then on the 4th count, your right hand is gonna go over your head and then clap onto the left hand. And then again, you can like bring it in a little bit if you need to, and then you can like swing it back. Yeah. So overall, the hands are just gonna be like 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. And then with the feet, it's gonna be like this. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. And then in the actual tryout choreo, you would only do like 1 set of Foka, so only like 4 counts of that. Any questions? Okay. And then the last 4 counts of the tryout choreo are just 4 Beitge. So this is like the exact same as I did in the footwork before. So like draw your hands back like a little bit into this. Like it can be like horizontal or like a little farther back, up to you. And then clap in front of you. And then for the feet, it's just like the Beitge. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. So on the and count, you draw back, and then on the number count, you like meet your hands like in front of you. They don't need to like clap or anything. It can just like be like right next to each other, just like we were doing before. So like Bungar L's. And yeah, we can do I guess the second half with music. Let's see. Yeah, and then on that like last count, like after you do the 4 Bethke, you can just like end in house with like your hands in peripherals. But instead of like this, like with your hands like palms outwards, you would just do your like palms inwards. And then yeah, just be in house. And then that's how you can like end after the Bethke. So do you want to like do it all together? Okay, we can do that then. And if there's any questions, let me know. So yeah, that's the whole thing. If there's any questions, let me know. But yeah, I think other than that, oh yeah, I forgot to mention for like the actual audition. Yeah, so the first video you're gonna do is all the basic footwork that we covered. So those are gonna be front lifts, back lifts, and oh sorry, front lifts, taps, back lifts, and Bethkan in one video. And I think we can do like, do we do 8 counts of each or 4?
I think it's 8 counts of each, but then only 4 Bethka at the end.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So 8 counts of front lifts, 8 counts of taps, 8 counts of back lifts, 4 Bethkan, and you can put on a metronome. You can just like search up metronome on Google and put 78 beats per minute, and then that will be your first video. Just like do it like with the metronome. And then the second video you're gonna do is like the choreo that we just did. So the music is on the trial info document with like the timestamps that you need to. And then the last video is gonna be the questionnaire questions. And I believe those questions are also on they're gonna be on like the tryout submission Google form. And then the optional like 4th video is like about like a minute long video of like any other choreo or like just like any other skill that y'all want to like show us. So yeah, and then all of those like videos like the full like trial is going to be due Friday, May 24th at like 11:59 p.m. Eastern time probably. So yeah, any questions?
Cool. I just wanted to add, biggest thing is to be smiling the whole time. You don't have to do like crazy expressions or anything, but if you're smiling the whole time, it looks a lot better than not smiling the whole time. So definitely aim for that. Yeah. And then we'll post this recording link on that same tryout info doc in case you need to reference it or want to reference it again. And our phone numbers are all there. Instagram is open to DMs if you have any other questions.
Mhm. And just like have fun, no pressure, just chill.
That's what Bunger is all about.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
For coming.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.